In Matthew 27, we have a passage that many who believe in a pre-trib rapture will often use to somehow try to debunk a post-trib, pre-wrath rapture, because they think that this passage is a rapture in and of itself. And that's not the case, and I just want to biblically prove that today. In verse 52 it says, "And the graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose, and came out of the graves after his resurrection, and went into the holy city, and appeared unto many." Now first of all, it just says many, it doesn't say all, as in like all the Old Testament saints. Plus we know according to the book of Acts that the Apostle Peter was still referring to King David's sepulchre, indicating that he had not risen from the dead yet. So the many here just happens to be a limited amount of saints. But the proof that this is not a rapture is actually in 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 17 says, "And their word will eat as doth a canker, of whom is Hymenaeus and Philetus, who concerning the truth have erred, saying that the resurrection is past already, and overthrow the faith of some." Now obviously the Apostle Paul came on after the scene, past, Jesus' ascension into heaven, as far as when he became apostle and when he got saved. And, for him to be writing about this, if Matthew 27 was the rapture or the resurrection that he's referring to, well, then this verse couldn't be true. And these verses, I should say, in 2 Timothy chapter 2 couldn't be true. So, what should we get from this? Well, the resurrection being referred to in 2 Timothy here is the actual rapture where you go from corruptible to incorruptible. In Matthew 27, it couldn't possibly have been the case. I mean, we have a resurrection, but the saints that did come up out of the graves, they died again. It's not that they were given new glorified bodies. That's not the case, because otherwise 2 Timothy 2 would make absolutely no sense. It would totally contradict Matthew 27. But, I'm going to show you another verse or verses in the Old Testament. Now, of course, the dispensationalists will fight the doctrine, because anything that contradicts their doctrine, they just say, well, that's for a different dispensation. That's not for doctrine today, or something to that effect. But if you're non-dispensational, and you just believe all Scripture is given by inspiration of God and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, well, then you can turn to any part of the Bible and get doctrine. But according to Job 14, it says, "So man lieth down and rises not, till the heavens be no more. They shall not awake, nor be raised out of their sleep." And then skipping down to verse 14, "If a man die, shall he live again? All the days of my appointed time will I wait till my change come." Now, this is the same type of language used in 1 Corinthians 15, like awake and change, referring to the glorified, immortal, resurrected body of a saint. And when does this happen? Well, when the heavens be no more. And that is Revelation chapter 6, which corresponds to Matthew 24, verses 29 through 31. That is when the heavens be no more, because the heaven departs as a scroll, and according to, I believe, the book of Nehemiah, there is a heaven of heavens. Just in case you're saying, oh, well, it says heavens in Job 14, but then in Revelation 6 it just says heaven singular. Not a problem at all, because there's a heaven of heavens, and that's what's being referred to. Because, the heaven departing is a scroll, I mean, come on, that definitely has to be logically the same thing being described in Job 14. So, Matthew 27 couldn't possibly be referring to the glorified, resurrected bodies of saints that are coming up, because, according to the book of Job, that cannot happen till the heavens be no more. That's the day of the Lord, that's the day of Christ, that's the second coming, that's the rapture, and that matches up with 2 Timothy 2, because Paul is teaching that there are false teachers out there who are saying that the resurrection already happened. And that's the one that they're referring to is the glorified body rapture. It's not a temporary resurrection where people will die again.